Welcome back to the channel for another video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more trading content like trade breakdowns, backtesting videos, or trading psychology videos and more. And today we can just go ahead and get to this video. We're going to dive into my trade breakdowns of my 3 winning trades for today. It's a pretty solid day for a Monday, so I'll just talk through the process really quick, and I want you guys to see just the consistency in which I apply my own process. So let's get into the reasoning. So here I'm looking at the 15 minutes on the time frame, and I was looking at some areas of interest from earlier. I was looking at the start of this morning, I saw a price tapped into this area that I talked into my weekly prep trade or prep video for NASDAQ. I said I was looking for a move here in this area or this area here. I saw that it tagged in here on Friday, and I was thinking that, okay, maybe we'll get a sell move either early Asian session on Sunday or sometime during London session. So I guess we got that move during London, or Asian session, I should say. I didn't take it though. It looks like we probably got some move during London session as well. But overall, I wanted it to pull higher into this first formed imbalances on the 15-minute. This is mostly just 30-minute imbalances consolidated. But I wanted to wanted for it to pull up here and mitigate at least this imbalance here in the 15-minute. So I saw that it did that right towards the beginning, like pre-New York session, around 7 o'clock. And I thought that even though it pushed it pretty high, it's still valid to me until it breaks the high that's responsible for causing it. And let me talk about why it's an area of interest for me. So an area of interest for me is just something that sweeps liquidity. So I saw the swing high here, then broke these swing lows, and then it left some imbalance while I was breaking those swing lows or swing highs. So that's why I was looking at those areas for price to return to and then give me an entry or a trade. So once it returned there, I was looking for a sell, and that sell formed at a different time that I also spoke about in my weekly prep video. You can see here that it formed a little bit before New York session at around at 7:35 when I think the trade was. Yeah, 7:35 is when I entered. So see the accumulation here. You see it sweep this liquidity here, then it consolidates a little bit, then breaks to the downside, leaves some imbalance here with these candles right here, and then entry was right there when it filled it. So yeah, I was looking for that. It was a really valid trade. I was thinking about testing out where I wanted to do my entries or stop losses at. I was testing out if I want to do more conservative or more aggressive with my entries. So I was looking at here. I did 2 entries. I did one really small position here with how I wanted to cover these highs and then have a longer TP. And then I looked here and did a more aggressive stop loss, just going above this high here, which is still valid. Just I wanted to test it out and see what I wanted to do maybe moving forward. And looking at the back testing I've done over the past week, 2 weeks, and just looking at how much it hits, I think moving forward I need to just go for the more aggressive stop losses and just go for a smaller range of risk to reward and stop loss and take profit. So yeah, going for 1.5 standard deviations this time was the right thing to do, and it went through. And once it went through, I just closed out this small position as well, just because I pretty much got my answer. I think it's just better to go for the smaller range trades because it goes by faster and it's better risk to reward usually. So yeah, then we can see once that happened, it actually would have hit stop loss around this time. I think it's not showing this broker, but this trade would have hit stop loss. Maybe it was at 9:30. This trade did hit stop loss, yeah. So it would have hit stop loss, and that would have been a loss for this trade if I did hold it for this longer range trade. But I just closed it out here, and that's the first win we had for the day. So it's pretty good to start off with a win before New York session even starts. So I'm liking how my confluence sets up at various times, and it's still valid to take it even outside of sessions. So next, once that happened, I saw that sweep liquidity and it started pushing back down, and the same type of area of interest I was looking at formed again. So swept all this liquidity, and I saw that it pushed to the downside, broke this swing low again, left this imbalance here, and I had to consolidate it again for the 30-minute because it's just, yeah, it's just a really big bearish push. And at this point, I was looking and calling out to our Discord that I'm looking for price. Let's see, I'll rewind. I was looking at this point. At this point, I was saying, okay, I'm looking for price either to push down to this area, then push back up, or I'm looking for a price to go right here, reverse right here, push back up into this area, one of these 2 areas, and then give us a move down, or it could give us a small reaction here, and then push the upside, go to this area, then push to the downside. I was telling them just to be aware, and we could just play off either of these zones. So whatever it mitigated first, we can play off this zone. So same concept. All these areas were formed by the same type of concepts. Super liquidity, then you see some imbalance being, or some imbalance formed that's after a swing low or swing high is being broke, a swing high in this instance. So looking for price to return to this area, same concept with here and with this area. It's just a larger area. So we saw that it reversed, and I went to the 30 minutes. You can see here, I used this as the imbalance just because it was better to consolidate it and just easier to just see where price could target, and it was a little more balanced, and it tapped this 30-minute imbalance but not this 15-minute imbalance, and that's still valid. It can be a little sketchy because I did want it to pull up higher to mitigate this imbalance or this order block, but it's all good. It didn't at that point. And then we go down to the 1 minute. It gave my entry model, looking for this small accumulation here with these few inside bars. Then it slipped to the upside, broke to the downside with this wick, and then gave us imbalance in these candles, so I entered. And it's a little sketchy because it wasn't inside the macro. It's still ideal, or not ideal to take it, but it's still valid to take, so I took it. And yeah, it was a little bit more, it was, let's say, stressful. It's not really stressful. I trust my analysis. I hold my trades. But it wasn't the cleanest trade because it took a while to go through. It consolidated a lot, went near stop loss twice, basically, kind of here and definitely here and here. So almost 3 times with near stop loss. And there was a continuation trade here that I just didn't take it, but it was still it would have been a valid loss, but it's okay. And there was one here that I didn't take, but it's all good. I still capitalized on this trade and the first trade so far that we went over. And you see it just push down after the lunch hour and push down around 1 o'clock, 12:45, 1 o'clock. It just pushed straight down to take profit. So yeah, it was a good trade that went through. I'm glad I held it. I don't recommend closing trades early ever unless you have like rules for it. But yeah, it was a solid thing, solid trade that went through. And once I spoke again about it, I said I'm looking for a price to either pull up and react to this area or push down and react to this area, and it pulled back up to this area, then reacted to this one. And I came back to my charts, and it was already, this trade had already gone through, and I really was rushing because I saw I got my alert, and it happened really, really fast. So I saw this trade form just like this, and ideally I wanted to push down a little lower to mitigate this order block as well, but it doesn't have to. It's still valid. So I saw it push down, and I actually got on the charts right during this candle here at 146, and I got in a little lower, so I got a little bit of a more optimal entry because I had to just manually enter. I was really late to charge. I rushed back and just entered that trade. I saw this form really fast, and I just rushed into it and entered, and it went through, the next 2 minutes, like literally. So really solid trade. I probably could have held it because I'm looking for price overall to push up higher to this area. So I probably could have held a runner at least to this area, this imbalance here, but maybe to even this one. We'll see what happens because price might be transitioning from a downtrend to an uptrend, but we'll see what happens. So that was a really valid trade, and glad I entered into it. I was almost missed it, but it happened really, really fast, and I'm glad I just capitalized on the profit I got. So yeah, 3 of 3 on the day, really successful day. It's only Monday, so it's a really good start to the week. So we'll see what the rest of the week has in store. I'm glad I took those trades. Looking for my next, maybe I have another trade today. So sneak peek, I guess you can say, was looking for potential move in this area because it is another area of interest I'm looking at. Is imbalance here. You see it sweep this swing high here as well, and you're seeing that it breaks those swing lows like here and here. So yeah, once it breaks those, and you can see maybe we'll get a sell move here and a pushback, and it'll push down lower, or maybe it'll just come right here and react to this area and then just shoot up and give us a valid loss, or maybe no trade at all, and then it'll go to this higher imbalance, 15-minute imbalance, and then give us a sell here to push lower. Or maybe it'll just blast through both of these zones and come up here. We don't know whether to have to wait and see and react to it because it's NFP week, so maybe we'll get a lot of news events. Maybe we'll come down and sell down here and go to this area, then maybe we'll get a news event that'll shoot it back up to this area here. So we'll see. There's news tomorrow, news on Wednesday, NFP on Friday, and the Fed speaks on Friday. So we'll see what happens. I'm just glad I took advantage of this trading day today. And yeah, make sure you guys check out some more content on the channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. And I hope you enjoyed it. We can see it's pushing up here some more. So maybe I could have just held a runner. But it's all good. I secured profit on 3 trades today. So on to the next trade. I'll see you guys next video.